Caitlyn Clark has taken the world by storm. Okay, if you had asked me, 6 years ago when I was in college and I decided that I wanted to do this radio thing, if you would ask me, hey, Jonathan, do you ever think that you'll ever open a show talking about the WNBA? I said, there's not a chance because people don't care about it. And then along comes Caitlyn Clark, and she takes the world by storm. And at first, I was going to say the sports world, but everyone is talking about her. She is a content machine. All she does is churn out content for everyone. If you want to talk about her from a sports perspective, there's plenty of things within her game that you can talk about. If you want to discuss Caitlyn Clark and have a race conversation, you can do that too. If you want to talk about her from a marketing standpoint and what the WNBA is doing wrong and what marketing teams should do instead, you can do that as well. If you want to get really political about Caitlyn Clark, you can do that as well. She is just a full-blown content machine that continues to churn out topics for people like me and for you and your buddies to talk about. That's what she does. My question is, how long does this last for? How long can Caitlyn Clark hold our attention? A lot of people are going to tune in to her game tonight because she's so much fun to watch. I'm of the opinion, when it comes to answering this question of how long can Caitlyn Clark hold our attention, I'm of the opinion that on August 26th, people will begin to check out of this Caitlyn Clark saga. Then on September 5th at 8:20, people won't care anymore until next summer when Caitlyn Clark starts her second season in the WNBA. Jonathan, why those 2 days? Why August 26th and September 5th? That's the start of football season. Nothing draws more eyes than the NFL. And as great as Caitlyn Clark is, there is not a world where a women's professional basketball player is a bigger story and is more talked about than the start of the NFL season. With that being said, how much more of this nonstop Caitlyn Clark news cycle can people take? Here's the thing. That just looking back over my notes and just kind of how I've gone about doing shows and looking at, places like, ESPN and Fox Sports and all this. As much as Caitlyn Clark has been covered, we have been able to take a break from her because the NBA playoffs have been going on and OTAs happened last week and the NHL Stanley Cup final is going on right now. Right? And then during her college season when she was awesome, we were able to step away from her greatness and talk about men's college basketball. We were able to talk about Zach Edey and UConn and how terrible IU was and all those things. None of that is going on right now. And we have a month until the start of NFL training camp. If you thought that the Caitlyn Clark segments were everywhere, you just wait. The WNBA is the only thing going on right now. Yes, Major League Baseball's happening, but let's be honest, people don't care about baseball until the playoffs start. Most people aren't tuning in to game 90 of a 162-game season, especially when the Cubs are as bad as they are. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't care to sit down on my couch and watch the Cubs blow another save. Just not for me. And so because of that, people are going to continue to be tuned in to Caitlyn Clark like they honestly never have been before because she's the only entertaining athlete available to us to watch right now. And now this should be a great thing. Like, this should be a fun, exciting, awesome day, awesome time for the WNBA. But, we've all sat back. We've watched how the WNBA players and the organization as a whole has handled this. And I think it's fair to say that the WNBA is probably going to get in its own way at some point. While the things that Angel Reese has said about Caitlyn Clark have made the news, now everything that could even be perceived as a slight jab at Caitlyn Clark is going to make the news, and it's going to be talked about. I said about a month ago now that Caitlyn Clark is the most polarizing athlete that we've seen since Tim Tebow. I still believe that. And places like ESPN and Fox Sports know that. That's why they continue to cover her like crazy people. Okay. That means that more Caitlyn Clark content is coming because, once again, she's the only entertaining athlete available to us right now. And if it's negative and it's not about basketball, the WNBA's window of opportunity to capitalize on Caitlyn Clark's rookie season could close sooner than August 26th and September 5th at 8:20. Okay? Like, there is going to come a point where people get sick and tired of how political the conversation around Caitlyn Clark is and can be. Like, whenever I discuss Caitlyn Clark, I feel like I am tiptoeing on this line of not talking about race because, let's be honest, since I am Indianapolis's honesty broker, like, race has been brought into this by other WNBA players. And people, sports fans, do not like it when their politics and their sports mix. Sports and politics are like oil and water. They don't mix. You can shake them up and stir them around and do whatever you want to it. It's not going to mix. And people don't want them to. Okay, like, I used to produce a radio show at a conservative radio station here in Indy. Oh, geez, I wonder which one. And when the host would start talking about sports, it was the worst thing ever. Politics in sports taint the very thing that I love and that you likely love, because chances are you wouldn't be listening to a sports radio show if you didn't also love sports. Okay, when leagues allow their sport to cross into this realm of politics, it never ends well. Remember when the NBA put BLM stuff on the court and they let guys put different things on their jersey? It crushed their ratings. Okay, the NBA Finals this year between the Celtics and the Mavericks had bad ratings. But guess what? Those ratings were not as bad as when they put BLM on the court. That was the bubble year when everybody was at home during COVID. The NBA had LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers in the finals, the two biggest brands in the sport, and no one watched. Despite it being COVID and everyone being stuck inside with nothing to do, people were binge watching shows left and right. People were on their couches, glued to their TVs because they didn't have anything else to do. Like, the 2020 bubble year should have been the highest rated NBA finals in history because everybody was inside. Nobody was out and about doing anything. The NBA had their biggest star since Michael Jordan playing in the finals in a Lakers jersey, but no one watched because they allowed politics to infiltrate their sport. The consumers clearly do not like it, and so they didn't watch. The WNBA has to be careful because their window of opportunity of capitalizing on Caitlyn Clark's rookie season is slowly closing. Okay, August 26th and September 5th. That's when it will officially close. Okay, they've got this short window of opportunity to really capitalize on Caitlyn Clark's rookie season. And if they allow politics to seep into the cracks of that conversation and into the cracks of their league, people will be so delighted with opportunities to tune out.